everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Olivia. I'm a UCLA student. I'm going into my senior year. I'm a psych major and a film minor. So I will be talking about 10 things I wish I knew as a freshman in college. I didn't rank them in any sort of way. It was kind of just the first things that came to my mind. So watch the whole video because there might be some important tips at the very end. Number one is you will not find your friend group on the first day of school or the first week or the first month. And yeah, when I was a freshman, I was very stressed out about this. It was literally week 0. School had not even started and I was an active Snapchat user, not like posting on my stories, but I love to take a picture of myself and like write how I was feeling in the moment and save it to my memories. And my roommates still make fun of me to this day. Week 0 is the week before school starts and there's like move-in events and things like that. And I had said, I haven't found my people. I'm stuck. I was like, oh my god, I don't have my friend group. And I had moved into UCLA like 5 days ago and I was panicking. But also junior year, I would say, was the most social year for me, or the year I made really good friends, like really close friends that I know I'll be staying friends with for a very long time. So just know that even if you don't find your people freshman year, it will take time. You might not find them till junior or senior year, but don't be too stressed about it. Everything will work out. Some people will have friend groups, but it's not as common. Like everyone is kind of just like friends with multiple circles of people. So like, or I guess instead of having like one friend group, like this is my college friend group, it's more like people have multiple friend groups. They have multiple friends that they've made in classes or clubs or extracurriculars or just like random places. You're gonna have so many different types of friends, so don't think that you need to find one group. Number 2, your major will probably change and that's okay. Don't feel like you have to stay stuck with the major you were assigned to when you got accepted into a school because so many people change. I'm gonna like tell you my major timeline. I got accepted as a business econ student. I stayed business econ till spring of my freshman year, and then I was like, you know what, I want to try psych. So then I took a bunch of psychology classes freshman year, or like the psych prereqs, and then I was like, I don't like this. So then my whole sophomore year, or the first 2 quarters of my sophomore year, I was like, I'm gonna be communications. So I took the hardest communications leader class. I studied so hard for that. I didn't get a bad grade, but it wasn't like amazing either. At UCLA, the comm major is one of the hardest majors to get into, and I'm gonna be really honest, freshman year I was not a great student. Like I don't know what happened to me. I was very academically discouraged. I was in some academic slump. In high school, I was a pretty good student. So I don't know what happened. Also freshman year, I had a phase when I wanted to be a dance major. I even had a consultation meeting with the dance department to see how I could switch. And then I didn't proceed with that. And then finally, my last quarter of sophomore year, I was like, okay, I'm doing psych. This is it. It was a journey, but now I'm a psych major. I officially declared myself as a psych major December of 2024. So literally after my fall quarter of junior year. So if you guys don't know what you want to study, it's okay, because I literally did not know until the middle of my sophomore year / end of my sophomore year. Number 3 is Notion. And also I'd like to thank Notion for sponsoring this portion of the video. Basically, I use Notion to keep my whole life, whether it be content creation, student life, personal life, internship life, into one clickable hub, and it has been a game changer. This is what my Notion looks like. This is my main page, so it's kind of just the front for everything. It's kind of like the cover of my book. With Notion, it feels like my personal little space. It makes me motivated to want to do my tasks. I can see my friends. And then I also added a calendar because even though I do have my pages linked to content creation and UCLA, I think it's nice to just have a visual calendar. As you can see, I linked going home because I am leaving LA today and I am going back to New York. Yeah, this is the cover. First, I'll go into content creation. As you guys know, I am a student and content creator, so I have all the notes and to-do lists and everything in this one spot for YouTube. I thought the first thing I would list are my dreams and aspirations because I want to keep reminding myself of why I do content and what I want to achieve. And then next I have TikTok and Reel content ideas. Basically, it's literally just a checklist of TikToks and Reels I want to make, and then once I finish a task, I can just press the check mark and cross it out. And then I also have the same thing for YouTube content ideas. I have different pages for different types of social media. So Instagram Reels is one thing, YouTube is another thing. And then I have my ongoing YouTube collaborations as well, especially when I have more than one collaboration going on at once. It's a little confusing to know like when I have to post or when I should film something, but I have everything here. And then I have my simple to-do list, general content stuff like send my draft to my manager or post my reel on August 16th. Just things I can see right as soon as I open the content creation page. And then obviously, since I do social media, I would like to have all my accounts linked in one spot. So I have my YouTube, my Instagram, my TikTok, and Pinterest, and you can just click and then boom, YouTube account is right there. The way Notion works is that there's just a plus button and you have all these different things that you can add. So if I want to embed a link in, that's what I did for the social media accounts. You go down to embed and then you paste your link in and then it will basically show up. So it's very easy to navigate. The thing I was worried about when starting Notion was, oh my god, I have to like make my whole page. But Notion, literally, I didn't even have to look up a tutorial. It was just basically all instinct. It's so easy to use. And then next is UCLA. I'm going into my senior year, so this really helps me manage my school life. The first thing I did was add my fall 2025 schedule because every quarter I start school. It takes me at least 2 weeks to memorize where I have to go, when I have class, but boom, it's here. Like say I'm on my laptop the night before school, I can just take a quick look at it. I don't have to go to my screenshots on my phone and search for like when I last took the picture of my fall schedule. I added a Monday to Friday to-do list type of thing. As you can see, I have little pictures of me and my friends. Once the week is over, I can just delete and then we're ready to start a whole new week. Then I linked all the crucial links that I tend to use on a daily basis. So Brew and Learn is Canvas. And then obviously to make it more like me, I added the K-pop on Spotify playlist. So literally you can just play music. Yeah. What's also special about Notion is there is a Notion AI assistant. So sometimes if you have so many notes in your Notion and you're struggling to look for something, you can actually ask Notion AI and it can help you. Ask a question, when do I have to post my Instagram reel? And then it gives you potential answers. So birthday Instagram reel needs to be posted on August 16th, 2025. So if you want to stay organized, make sure to use Notion. It will literally save you so much time, effort, and energy. So make sure to try Notion for free with the link in my description box below. 4. Join clubs and extracurriculars. That kind of relates to the whole friend thing. All my friends I made this year, like all the new-ish friends I made were from dance. When I think about it, I have to say 80% of my friends are from dance. If I didn't join any dance teams, I'd probably have a very little amount of friends. I would say joining clubs, very important for your social life because I would say it's the main way that people can connect. First of all, you already have a shared interest, like for me, dance. It was pretty hard to make friends in my classes. A lot of the times when you join clubs, you'll end up being with people who take the same classes as you, so that's also very helpful because you can sign up for classes together and have a study buddy or have a friend who you can just like communicate with, because it's literally the worst feeling when you're in a lecture alone and you don't know anyone and you can't ask them for the homework if you're sick. It's like you're on your own because you have no one to ask. Even if you just exchange Instagrams with someone, everyone's in the same boat as you. They want to have at least one friend in a class that they can communicate with. Last year I took a philosophy class and there was one girl who was very nice and we just like happened to talk with each other, and she was very helpful when I had a question about something or she had a question, so we just like DM each other. But yeah, back to the clubs thing. My dance team, we always study together. Even if we're not taking the same class, we have a big messenger group chat. So if some of us are going to study after practice, we'll text the group chat and a bunch of our friends will just all gather, and it's very nice instead of just studying alone. Clubs are a really good opportunity to make friends, find study buddies, and just find a general support system. I don't know if this applies for like professional clubs, but if you don't get into a club your first try, do not give up. This is not something I wrote, but it just came to my mind. I literally had to audition for my dance team like 3 times and I was persistent because I really wanted to get in. Don't be embarrassed to like, try multiple times, because sometimes it's just not gonna happen your first time. Sometimes I think like, wow, what if I didn't go back and I didn't audition? I wouldn't have all the friends that I made this year. And like I said, all the friends that I made this year through dance are some of my best friends now. So don't let your fear of feeling embarrassed hold you back. That's a learning lesson. Just keep trying. 5, your GPA is obviously important. Your grades obviously matter. If you get bad grades, that will not lead you to immediate success. But I do have to say, I realized throughout the 3 years of being at UCLA is that networking is very important. Like, making connections is so important. It's just like that extra push that will really get you somewhere. So it's not like you should be forging unnatural friendships and connections, but be open-minded and be willing to talk to anyone. Be willing to have a conversation with them if they want to talk to you, because having more people in your circle is very important. Now I'm a senior and I wish that I went to more UCLA events. Like, there are even job fairs, club fairs, all these fairs that are gonna help you for your career or your future, because literally the job fairs, like the people who might hire you in the future, you can talk to them face to face, you can give them your resume. But I did not do that because I was very focused on my dance teams and I was like, I don't want to do anything else. If I were a freshman, I'd go to more professional events, networking events, things like that. 6, use Google Calendar. I was kind of late to the whole Google Calendar thing. I didn't really realize how many students used it. The main reason I say to use Google Calendar is because no one is gonna be next to you reminding you you have to go to class in 30 minutes, or no one's gonna be like, you have your homework assignment due tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. Unlike high school where your teachers might remind you or you might have a grace period, in college everything is up to you. So if you don't go to class, that's your fault. You have to deal with the consequences. Like, if you miss your meeting, everything is on you, which means you have a lot of responsibilities, including academics, extracurriculars. Most colleges use Canvas, so there is an assignments tab, but there's no thing that's gonna be like, reminder, this is due tonight. Like, you have to be the one to go onto Canvas, press the assignment, and see the due date. In order to not forget anything that you have going on in your life, put it in Google Calendar, and that will be your reminder person. 7, this is kind of a simple one. I just thought I'd add it. Don't take an 8 a.m. class. It's literally the worst thing in the world, unless you're an early bird. But in college, people stay up a lot later than they do in high school. Like, I used to go to bed at like 12 a.m., 11:30 p.m. And then I got to UCLA and I started going to bed at like 2. Also, my experience is a little different because I do have dance practice that ends till 1 a.m. on Mondays and Wednesdays, so I inevitably have to go to bed later, but college students just sleep very late. You might think when you're registering for a class like, oh, 8 a.m.'s not bad. I'll wake up, I'll have breakfast, like I'll be so productive. It just doesn't end up happening unless you sleep early or you're just a morning person. But for most college students who aren't morning people, just don't sign up for the 8 a.m. Nowadays, I avoid 8 a.m.s at all costs. I don't think I've taken an 8 a.m. class since my freshman year. 8, this does not apply to everyone, but you'll probably get a C for the first time in your life and it will shock you. Like me. In high school, I don't think I ever got a grade lower than an 85%, like a B minus. But then I got my first 57 on an exam and I freaked out. But the thing is, it's because sometimes a professor will make the exam really difficult. So literally the mean score might be like a 55 or a 60. So don't be shocked when you see a really bad grade because everyone else will probably experience this with you. You have to adjust to the system, realize that sometimes you can get a really low grade but still end up with an A in the class. It always works out. 9 is go to office hours even if you don't need help. I can probably count the amount of times I went to office hours on one finger and I'm going into my senior year. So this is why I'm making this video. I'm giving you guys the advice I wish I took when I was a freshman. I think the only times I went to office hours was when I needed to get my exam back, or I had a really pressing question, or I got a really bad grade on an exam and I needed to ask the TA if it was the right grade. Yes, that happened to me this year because I got a really high score and then it dropped by 20% and I was like, what? So I was like, oh, it's a mistake, and then it wasn't a mistake. The reason why I'm saying to go to office hours is because it's the main time you can connect with your professor or your TA. And again, going back to the whole networking thing I said, don't go to network, obviously, but go with an open mind to get to know your professor better. When you're applying for internships or research, a lot of the time they actually ask for a letter of recommendation. There was one internship that I applied to and I couldn't think of a single TA or professor I could reach out to because I never went to office hours and I never talked to the professors. And that's my fault because I didn't put in the effort to talk to professors when I could have. When you need their help, they'll be there for you and they'll want to genuinely help you because you already have that relationship with them. It's not like some random student is coming to your office hours for the first time and is like, hey, can I have a recommendation? Like, it doesn't look good. They're not gonna want to do it for you. Like, yeah. Okay, number 10, this is very simple. Always join the class GroupMe. If you go to a college that uses Canvas, there'll always be a tab that says discussions, and usually someone will link the GroupMe chat in the discussions part of Canvas. And it's literally so helpful because all the students in the class join the GroupMe. You can ask each other questions. Like, it's just really helpful when other students are texting in the chat and giving very insightful information that you could have missed in lecture, and someone will be willing to answer you because there'll be like 80 students in the GroupMe, so someone will have the answer. Students respond so much faster than professors or TAs do. So we have officially reached the end of this video. If you are a rising freshman, I hope these tips answered any of your questions you had going into your first, second, or third year of college. Again, like I said, a lot of these come from personal experiences, and I'm one of so many different college students out there, so my advice might not work for everyone, but it's just things that I've learned and things that helped me throughout college. Also, if you finished watching this video, comment which college you are going to in the fall. If you are a incoming UCLA freshman, I maybe will see you somewhere on campus. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful, and I will see you next week. Bye!